So this is offering tools. Okay, I've saved it. Then I look for index. Okay, there it is. Now I need to give you a new share. Of the index file I do have, such that we get a difference. Index. Okay, good. New share. So this is now what we have. And we had the first part, which was about the online essentials, then getting started is here, and everything has a next all through. Those are now browsing concepts. Next. And as long as you have data, then we move to security, you'll find it there. So it becomes one full course being followed from the start up to the end. Thank you very much, colleagues. Unless we have a question, I would want to end it here. But request that we do more practice for us to get the best out of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Joseph. As I indicated, can we have some people who want to share the experience by show of hands so far in terms of using EXE? You know, the best way for learning is to see when there's interactive feedback. We're talking about interaction, so we shouldn't be one way. Shouldn't be seen to be transmitting when it should be transforming. So anybody who has been able to implement this a course, develop a course material, the activities we've done today, and you'd like to share your experience so far, you can show hands. Maureen, again, you're welcome online. Can see you. Someone who has implemented the course would like to share your experience. Yes, Frank. So Frank, you can unmute yourself and put your video so that you can share with us. Frank? Frank Kumi? Are you hearing? You can unmute yourself, turn on your video, and then you can speak to us. Joseph?
Doctor?
Frank raised his hand. I don't know if he's unable to unmute or something.
I don't think he should be able to unmute himself, unless if he has a challenge, let him put it in the chat room.
Okay. Frank, you raised your hand. You'd like to share experience?
Someone says he wishes he could create 2 files and implement this immediately. The merging.
Right. Yeah, you will be able to do that today after we are done with the copies. Who would like to share an experience? It is extremely very important for us to know that there's some sort of skills transfer, knowledge transfer. No one is willing?
I want to believe that they are still trying it out, or some of them will be trying it later on.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Fine. Anyone like to share an experience with the EXE Okay, no hands. Jacqueline, Okelo. James
Yes.
Basuta, you indicated you had installed it yesterday, you tried it out. Can you give us some
Yes.
little thoughts? Yeah,
Oh,
Jacqueline, so what's your experience so far?
thank you, Drake. What I indicated on the chat is that I was able to download the software. I was able finally to install on my computer, on my laptop. But while I was doing that, I had said I missed out on all the steps. And I said I'll have to follow that on YouTube. So basically, I didn't do anything. I just went to YouTube to start reading about what to do next. But I was able to download the software finally. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Jacqueline. At least some good feedback there. Alice, you did install, you did make some steps. Alice Mutwetwe. Okay, maybe she'll turn around. Okay, Frank, I see your hand again. Frank,
hello?
I see your hand. Yes, Frank.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay. So I would like to start from the basics first. I was able to download the app that is from exelearning.org. That was Riley shared.
Okay.
I was able to launch the app, and I used my course, one of my course templates, which is Introduction to Biotechnology, as the case study in my case. So the outline, I had to first of all break the outlines into the various topics that
Excellent.
So what I did was double clicking on the default section that comes so that I can easily edit it. And by doing that, I had to click on the double click to be able to edit or rename the part where I want to type in a topic. So I had the main outline topics to be introduction of biotechnology. I was able to do branches of biotechnology, DNA structure and replication as the outline. So when I was done with the topics, I was able.
It would also be nice if you could share your screen, because that's a very rich experience, you know.
Okay, so let me try and share the screen.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Someone should guide me off.
Okay, if you go down on the Zoom, where you're seeing microphone, video, you see participants, then share screen.
Okay, participants. Yeah, share screen. Yes, I've seen it. Perfect.
Yeah, if you click on it,
okay,
it will open a window and it show all the different windows you have on your computer. So you simply select the window which you want to share.
Okay.
And then you click share at the end.
Okay. Right. Okay. So I am here now. Yeah. So I hope participants can see my screen now.
Yes, we can.
Yeah, we can.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So like I was saying, let me see first. I think
Now click on the introductory. Yeah, that.
Correct.
I was able to create the outlines where I have introduction to biotechnology. I have that is a course I'll be teaching.
Okay.
And I created the various topics: definition of terms, branches of biotechnology, DNA structure and replication, DNA extraction, PCR and electrophoresis, plant tissue culture, significance of plant tissue culture, then genetically modified organisms. Then the we were taught in every topic, I click on the activity, and the activity gives me access as a window where I can either text in, type in all the content of that topic, or from a Word file I've created where I have all my notes, I can easily copy and paste it in there. Then when I'm done, let me use this one as a template. So when I click on the edit, I get access to type in or copy from Word document my notes. And when I'm done with it, I click on this icon, which is done, the done icon. So it means I'm done with this section. Then I move to the next section, which is branches of biotechnology. Branches of biotechnology, I'm able to also add the activity section, which gives me access to a window similar to the Word window format. For the first time, you get the outlook like this, where I'm able to type in, or if I have the notes already prepared, I copy the notes, I paste it in there. If there are modifications, I can easily modify it like how I'm typing now. Then when I'm done, I click on the done, which is the checked icon down there. So I was able to do it for all the respective topics I have created for myself for the course I'll be handling, which is ACR 203. And the most fascinating part has to do with how to save the project you've done. Like you said, working with this app, everything you do is like a project. So in saving the project, because I want my student to be able to access it even offline, so I come to File, then I go to Export. Then Export, I choose Website. Then I choose a self-contained folder. So self-contained folder, I choose the folder in which I want to save it. And the name of the folder, let's say this one, let me say from Reform Capacity Building Training. Okay, then I decide to save it on the desktop. Then I click, oh, sorry, let me edit it again. So Reform Capacity Building Training. Then I click, okay, the destination is on desktop. So when I come to my desktop,
Okay.
then
So you have to stop sharing this screen, then you share the other one.
Oh, okay. I have to stop sharing this one.
Yeah, there is new share.
Then you load the other website, the browser where your course is open, the way you did this one. So you simply go to stop sharing and then you.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So stop sharing. Okay. Come back like this. I go to, so I'll share this one again, or I wouldn't share.
You share now the browser because you want to see your work in the browser, how it looks like in the web browser.
Okay.
There is
only one screen can be shared at a time.
Oh, okay. Good.
So another screen, you have to reshare the other new screen.
Okay. So is it visible now? What I'm doing now, or is not visible?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
Go to share.
Yeah, I've clicked on share. So the screen I want to share is
choose the
desktop.
screen you want to share.
Okay. All right. So I go
the screen
to.
is already open, I guess, on your computer.
Okay.
Having very many icons, especially the ones of internet and so on browsers.
Okay, so let me come to, okay, let me share document and let's say introduction to biotechnology.
Okay.
Then I have to locate the index.
Yes.
Index. So I click on I, scroll down to the I section. So I want IN. So
it's there, index.
Yeah, it's down there.
It's there. You go down. Where there's an E,
index.
That one. Yeah.
Why I double click this to launch.
And then you share that one, which you share what has just opened now.
Okay. All right. So I come back to the Zoom.
Stop sharing this and share that other one which just came on screen.
Okay. All right. Okay. Then I come back to sharing. Then I go to screen that was sharing. Okay, that is this one. So I have,
Okay.
is it visible now?
Very
I have
much.
introduction to
Good. Excellent.
technology,
Good student.
definition of
Excellent.
terms, branches of biotechnology. Yeah, and I was able to set some multiple choice questions as well. Yeah, just like we were taught. So I have a multiple choice question. What is biotechnology? Where I have options over there. Is a technology that utilizes, yeah. So basically I was able to follow through and do something with it. And I also learned how to import the SCOM 1.2 into the model platform, where our university is on the model platform. So it was very interactive.
Excellent.
I was able to also do that. Yeah. So basically that is what I was able to do.
Wow. Thank you, Frank. Thank you, Frank. I'm extremely, extremely happy. Allow me to invite please say, Robertson, you'd like to share your experience. I'm giving you 5 minutes before we dive into hot potato. This is very good.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Professor. My name is Randall Sensei.
Yeah, you can turn on your video so that we can see as well.
Due to bandwidth issue, I can't be able to put on my video.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. Okay then. So let me just quickly share my screen and share my experience with you.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Now, actually, yesterday I got this link, okay, from the training. This was the link that the leader shared with us, https://exelearning.net. So I was able to open my web browser, and then I was able to paste that link in the web browser, and I came to this area. So then I was able to click on downloads, and then it took me to this download section. I am using Windows on my computer, Windows 10. So I was able to click here, install version, and then the application was able to download to my computer, and I installed the application. And this is the executable file on the desktop right here, okay? So then I was able to launch this particular application. And this morning, what we were taught, I was able to do this little sample course called Introduction to Computer. So this is what I did. So this is the course right here, Introduction to Computer. I have here the definition right here. Click on the definition. And this is just a short sample. So what is computer? Define computer there. And then Kim also here created another page for functions of a computer. Then also stated the function of the computer with illustration or a graphical image here. And then I was able to talk about the basic components of a computer, okay, with a graphical image here as well, relating to input devices and output and processing and so forth like that. Then I did a quick review, just to exercise quiz, just to exercise or multiple choice option I was showing. So then I created this particular multiple choice section, quick review, with just one question that says, which device is an input device? So you have monitor, or CPU, keyboard, printer, and then you can select the best choice from there, okay? So with this, what I learned is that, well, I can now come here and export, because I'm using Moodle at my university. So I can export it as a Scrum package. And at the end of the day, I can get to Moodle and import it from activities and resources Scrum from that particular level. Thank you ever so much.
Wow, thank you very much. Thank you. I think Francis, as you can see, there's a ton of contribution of knowledge and a transfer of skills to the participants. So thank you very much. It's a good feedback. So allow me, without further ado, to Yes, Frank, Joseph?
Yeah, Doctor, we also had a person who had a challenge, I think, exporting a SCOM package. If we had some time, probably we could give him a chance and see where he got issues. Probably could have some others who got stuck the way he got stuck in about 5 minutes as well.
Okay, so who is that one?
I think that is Imran.
Imran?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, Imran. So, yeah,
yes,
you can put on your screen as well. You can take us through your experience.
Well, quickly, Fiona got me in the chat, and then I went back as I was listening, and I figured it out. So,
great.
That really helped a lot. Thank you.
Okay, excellent. I'm very proud, and this perhaps goes back to Imran's experience, what we were sharing yesterday, that when you're designing your course, they need to have right resources, because as you can imagine, the ability for Fiona to sort you out when we are here is a very good mechanism of designing the delivery of online course. So that's again a very good experience coming out. So Joseph, Francis, can we continue to the next?
Yes, Doctor.
Let's go to the next session, please.
Okay, thank you very much. So allow me to introduce. So colleagues, we're heading to something very exciting. I know some of you like potatoes. We're going to discuss about hot potatoes, not the sweet ones, not the sour ones, but the hot ones. So just as we did in the morning, I will walk you through the principles of the application. And my colleagues, then I'll hand over to Fiona to do the preliminary of the practical sessions, and I'll be supported by Joseph and all of us along the way. So basically, one thing you have to appreciate that hot potato was basically a tool that came out from a university in Canada. And the original version was really to stimulate the learning of language, okay, through a number of interactive activities that allow vocabulary growth, but also application of these language concepts. And it has over the years evolved to be applied in various disciplines and at different levels of education, as we get to know. So by and large, it has a number of what they call potatoes. Potatoes are just like applications. So about 6 of them, and we're going to look at who they are. So hot potato suite is a set of 6 authoring tools created by the Research Department at the University of Victoria and Computing. They enable us to create interactive web-based exercises. Remember the word, interactivity and web-based. And if you remember from yesterday's interaction, we are emphasizing that the advance of e-learning is largely attributed to the development of the web. And the Web 3.0, 2.0, and 3.0 that enabled some interactivity, they are the ones that promoted this. So more importantly is to know that interactivity is a critical requirement for maintaining learner engagement in online teaching and learning. So this is a critical tool. The exercises are standard web pages, and they are basically developed using XML. Don't mind about what XML is, but this is just a standard of how the computer interprets web browsers and web pages. So being the tool is regularly being updated, so you realize that if you use an older version of Potato, you may not be able to render your outputs on some of the modern browsers. So that's very important to check that you're running the latest hot potato and if you're running the latest operating system. The authoring tool handles unique code. That's again a language. For this session, I will not err so much into technical details. But the whole fundamental principle was, just as we saw yesterday, that how do you get a best teacher, a best professor, be able to deliver this content in this unique way? when being abstracted from the technicalities of web programming. So basically, that's how potatoes work, as you've seen how EXE works as well. So what users need to do really is you enter data in the form of simple text and questions and answers, and then render it over the platform and generates for you a standard HTML and JavaScript code, which can be run by your browser at any moment. So as a first point, I would like to, just as I did in the morning, to challenge colleagues that how many of us, by show of hands, have already this application installed? We are 55 of us. So if you have installed Hot Potato, just put up your hand. So we see one hand that is safe. Okay, Okiria, Helen, good.
Oh, the number is big. Nice.
Yeah, excellent. Oh, this is inspirational.
People want potatoes.
Yeah. Can we see more hands? So these are quick hands. Okay, John Paul, Noah, okay, Imran, that's excellent. So anyone who's struggling? So to install potatoes, you really need to go to hotpotato.uvic.ca. hotpotatos.uvic.ca. CA stands for Canada, as indicated that the program came from a university in Canada. So are people, is anybody there struggling to, in any way, to install or to access the potatoes? Anybody? I need to see more hands.
Doctor, I think for the benefit of those who will simply be watching this video, we can just do the same.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I can do that. Let me try to get the potato, the web browser itself.
I think I have it.
Okay. You already shared it? Okay. Excellent. So Joseph has shared. So when you go to that browser, there's like any other software page, you will find a lot of instructions, kind of what the course, the software is all about, the latest update. Take care to review that information, because sometimes there's a better version of the software and a stable version. So I normally tell people when there's a latest version, be careful to start with the latest. Sometimes if they indicate it is better, sometimes they tell you there's a better version and a stable version. So in this case, they have not explained that. So be careful to review and look at kind of some runtime environment you may need to have on your computer and so on. So scroll through, Joseph. So for us, if you look at, if you're running Windows, look at Hot Potato 7.0 installer. And that is running for all classes of Windows, right from Windows 98 to Windows 10, okay? And of course, good news for that is that if you already have a VMware, which you call a virtual machine, you can actually install, Hot Potato Linux over a virtual machine. Linux is basically the Unix system. Those of you who are running Mac OS, there's also a version below for Mac users. You can follow the experience as well. So I'm seeing more hands. Edward, excellent, thank you. So anybody who has challenges, yes, Moa, you can install on Mac. There is a Mac installation as you have indicated for you. Just see the browser below from Joseph, and you can follow the instructions. Only simple instructions, you should be able to work. Okay, Joseph. Anybody who has challenges? If you don't, then we continue. I'm going to continue. Let me share my screen. Let me share my screen, and I see. Okay. Are you all seeing my screen?
Very well.
Okay, thank you. So for Mac OS, the instructions are as below. So you can drag the hot potato to application folder on your computer and then just follow the instructions online if you're using Mac to see how you can execute the application. Yeah, so it's important to know about the copyright. This is a software that is delivered free of charge and being used under common criteria license. CO is 4.0, so you don't have many issues. And the project owners really encourage people to use, but also you can provide feedback. And you can actually also access code and extend if you need to extend. So there are different potatoes. We said there are about 6 potatoes. So one of the most popular and commonly used of all the 6 potatoes is a JQuiz. And it has basically 4 types of resources that you can create multiple choice questions, you can have short answer questions, you can have a hybrid, and you can have multi-select. So I'm sure in this session that you're running, this will be covered by colleagues. There's a JAG clause as well. So the JAG clause is a program that creates gap fill exercises. It may not be very good for some of your classes, but for low levels or certain fields, you'll find that this JAG clause is very important. So ideally is that you write a whole package or a passage, and then you eliminate certain fillers. Which words or phrases are encouraged by your learners to contribute to. JAG clause is really that you create a crossword puzzle which can be completed online. And colleagues, this is where it comes very handy. A crossword puzzle, it's like a chess game. And from the cognitive science, it simulates logic reasoning. And it is this kind of logic reasoning that makes learning interactive and fun. So one way we emphasize that if you want higher compliance and greater participation on your course, ensure you make learning as fun. Let students find that learning on your course is like a game. Okay, so if you are able to do that, then you move your learners to a very high degree of engagement and commitment. We have a JMix. This allows you to what you call create jumbled sentence exercises, and you can specify as many different correct answers as possible. And you've seen this applying to different fields of study. JMatch, this reminds me of largely the low-level formal education, where seeing, like, for example, children asked to match the word to a figure, okay? But also it applies in different levels. Particularly if you remember in learning, one of the things we have to do in our program, we have to provide a called inclusive education. So you may have some, for example, children who are autistic and they are struggling with your course. So some of these simple things allow them to equally participate and actually become productive by lowering the degree of complexity in interaction. So JMatch is a very extremely good tool, largely looking at people who have slow learning attitudes, okay, in some of these things. Then Masha is really a very interesting tool, which you'll find that oftentimes you may want to create a complex test, which has a mix of the different potatoes, which means you have a quiz, you have a crossword puzzle, you have a mix, and you want all these things to be packaged into one. To do that, you need a masher, and my colleagues will demonstrate how that works. So we're heading straight to the practical, and allow me invite my colleague Fiona to first take us through the tool environment and maybe the quiz. And when Fiona, you are free to invite anyone else in the team to make a contribution along the way. So Fiona, the floor is yours. Are you there?
Yes, thank you, Dr. Jack. Good afternoon, everyone. We are going to go through the hot potatoes. I hope we've all installed the software and we can follow through as we do the steps. So let me share the screen. Just a minute. Okay, when you install the hot potatoes, it appears like this. It has 6 applications, like Dr. Drake has been training. We have the JQuiz, the JClose, JCross, JMatch, and the JMix. These are some of the applications you work with, as we are going to see. So, and this masher is like a combination for all these applications. If you want to access them as a whole, after creating the files in these 5, you can use this masher. So this will be the last one we shall handle after creating these files. So we shall start, after installing the application, we shall start with the JQuiz. As he explained earlier, the JQuiz is used for it's like creating a quiz for question-based quiz that handles, it can do multi-choice questions, it can do short answer questions, hybrid, and multi-choice. So start with this to create up a simple quiz that we can use. As we can see, it's displayed, it has several features. It has the file. The file allows you to open a new document, create a new document, open an old document, save as a particular or at a particular location, to add a reading text,
the
to
new
add
screen.
Oh, sorry. So as I said, we are starting with the JQuiz, and the JQuiz has different features. We are going to first look through some of the things you can do with this file. So there is the first thing is the file. The file allows you to create a new document, that is another new JQuiz file. It allows you to open all the worked on files. It allows you to save. It allows you to create a web page after working on this particular file. It allows you to either create a zipped package, or all these versions are versions you can use to save and export your file in that particular version. So it also allows you to export for printing or to exit. This software is a bit similar to the EXE in that you can't close with the X, you close with the exit. You go to file and exit. When you're done everything you're doing, you exit from here, not the X, as we normally do for other files. So then the edit allows you to undo, cut, copy, paste, and delete. You can check for spellings as well. Insert allows you to insert a picture, a link, an HTML table, or an image in any of these. So the manage questions, it guides you on how to go about the different questions you have set. This is a quiz. We are all aware that a quiz comprises of questions and answers. So you can delete a specific question. You can insert another question where one is existing. You can move question maybe to the top or to the bottom. You can clone a question, make it like appear twice. You can put an auto response for a particular question or shuffle the questions, in that if I've arranged my questions to be 1 to 5, if a student is, I want them to appear from 1, then 3, then 4, then 2 comes in, like that. So this is also a possibility. Then options you can work with when editing some of the options you can work with when editing these files. You can configure the output, you can use toolbar options, all the features. Then the help button helps you maybe to, if you tackled something, and check for, oh, somebody's mic is muted and it's interrupting the sound. Okay, so the help can help. It's you just, if you're stuck with using this software, you can get help content from the web, or you can search anything about or register. So we can start with the features of the JQuiz. The first display is a title. The title is where you put like the title of your quiz. For example, we've been looking at research methods, so we shall say our quiz is about research methods, probably. So this area shows the number of questions you're working on, and this is what provides the count of the question. So here they indicate question 1. As you're working on a question, this is where you put the question, the title of that particular question. Then in this section, you choose the type of question. Is it a multi-choice question? Is it a short answer question, whereby a person just has to type in a short statement? Is it a hybrid question, or is it a multi-select? You can select one or more. So I have some questions you can work with. For example, if I say we are taking this, new share.
Yes, just Fiona.
Yes, please. Is my screen still visible?
Yeah, screen is okay.
So we are going to say, yeah, so we shall say maybe our first question is, what are the different research types, as our first question? And we want this question to be a multi-choice. So we shall select multi-choice and give some of the answers we think are the right answers. Maybe I can say applied research. Maybe we can say basic. We can say both. Or I can even say none of the above. So feedback is you're giving like a hint of what the answer should be. So if on this feedback, I can say I want, for
maybe
this, you can maybe both, or depending on what you want the answer to be. I can still say applied or basic. Then you select which of all these is the right answer and you indicate it here. So you say accept as right answer, so that at the back when a student selects both, they are given that it's the right answer. So when we come back up here.
Fiona,
yes,
for
please.
purposes of illustration, you
yes,
can, in the feedback section there, you can tell them like maybe incorrect answer, where it is not wrong, it's not correct. Say incorrect answer, then maybe you can say correct answer, so that someone will see what happens when they choose one, which feedback they get.
So we say incorrect.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we can use this as incorrect as well. Then you can say correct.
Yeah, incorrect as well.
So when we indicate that this is the correct answer, we're waiting Weighting is like which percentage a person is going to get when they select that particular answer as the right. You can either select it from here, question you're setting, you want them to have a weighting of 100%. You can select it from the top here, either reduce or increase. If it's selected at the top, then it will be the general for all of them. Or you can change it, you can select for each. If it's a correct answer, you select. So this is our question 1, and that is done. So we want to set question 2. We use these arrows to move to the question 2. You notice when I press the upper arrow key, it shows question 2 and brings another blank page to the question. So still the same thing, we shall fill in our question. Let me just copy. Here. Yeah. So when I copy, I can paste this, and this is, so this is to be our question, strategies of inquiry, of what are the strategies of inquiry in search, and these are some of our options. First option is only quantitative, then both, then we can say qualitative and mixed. We can say maybe none, depending on your options and the answers you want to use. Or here we can say make only qualitative. So in the feedback, which feedback do you want the student or the reader to reach a particular answer? I think we will still work with the incorrect. And we say incorrect as well. Sorry.
Fiona,
correct.
Just
yes,
out
please.
Our colleagues, out of the not technology but a pedagogical principle, since this is e-learning and you're talking about remote learning, ideally the feedback should be helping the student learn. So for example, if I take a wrong question, you'll be telling me this is not correct. The ideal answer should have
because
this
of
and this
this.
and this. Yeah, so you try the answer, the feedback to be a little bit more corrective in nature, as opposed to be a summative of right or no. That's what I want to.
Or you can use. Yeah, thank you, Dr. Drake. Or you can use like a hint as your feedback. So if I select a wrong answer, you give me a hint or an explanation as to why that is wrong and something that leads to the correct answer. So that when a student looks through the other options, they can easily select which one is correct. But for the purposes of passing through all this, that is why we are maybe using the short terms so that we can cover up most of the things. So these we can say incorrect. So we use the same step as we used last time, accept as correct, and that is a multi-choice. The next question we are going to select is going to be a short answered question. To work with the short answer, it's still the same process of selecting. Let me copy another question that will require a short answer. Maybe this will do. Okay. So if our question is the question is the order of determining, what is the order of determining the right approach, the right research approach? That is going to be our question. And some of our options, option A. Option B and option C. We shall have option D as well. So as Dr. Drake explained earlier, you can give reasons why you're choosing that particular, why that particular answer is wrong as the feedback to be displayed to the reader. But in this case, I'm going to stick with the incorrect or correct for my options. So I'll say incorrect. Maybe we can say correct. See? Then. So this will be ticked as the accept right answer. And so do the same thing for all these options. You select which type of question you want it to be. After, you can save this file. Or you can work as you're saving as well. In this case, I'm going to save it as a web page, and you come to file and save as web page. They ask you standard format, it is already set. So I'll save it as quiz 1 testing. It is saved as an HTML file because I selected web. And we save. Since there's a space, I left a space in between. That is why it brought an error. So I can remove the space and save again. So asking me to view the file and its contents in the browser, I'll say view. So this is how my quiz is going to look like in the browser. You notice the first question was, what are the different types?
We are not seeing that screen, Fiona.
Share the
that screen as well.
The browser file.
Yes. So you notice my first question was, what are the different types of research? And we gave the options. So we can select. If a person selects the wrong one, you see a pop-up of what to put in the feedback column. So it's incorrect. You have to select a right one. Then you can show all questions. You don't see all the questions. This is question 2, strategies. When you select the right answer, you're given a score, and this score is later calculated to the number of questions that are on and given an average out of 100. So you can, so this is something we did that had the short answer. So what is, the question was, what is the order of determining the right research approach? And we shall say, you select the answer, it has a hint, is D. Then when we say show answer, see the answer, or you can check if the answer you've put in, you can type in the answer. That is the reason for the short answer. The user or the student can type in the answer. So it is the same for all the options of multi-choice, short answer, and hybrid. It's the only difference is how the display appears. Then we can as well save. We can as well save this file as a SCOM file that is going to be uploaded to our e-learning platform or to our learning management system. That is where we come to file, save it as SCOM package. It is asking me to first zip the file. Shall create a, please save your data file before trying to create a zip. Let me first save again. So we come and create the zip file, which is quiz 1.
Your computer is slow. Fiona?
Yeah, as Fiona said, Drake, one of you may need to respond to this question. I know you are used to it. Remember the Cisco type of multiple choice questions, where a set of examination is done, and if you want to redo, if you want to do it again, the order changes automatically.
Yeah, the toggling.
What used to be A and B, so that it, when somebody does the same set of tests and I want to do again, it gets randomized in terms of the order of the question, but also the order of the answers. So maybe one of you could help the trainees on setting this kind of multiple choice questions.
Joseph, you like to try?
Let me look for it, and I do it. We do it practically, Doctor.
Okay. So Fiona,
Okay,
can you? Yes, continue, Fiona.
Okay, so we were at the part of exporting as a SCOM file, and we go through the same process. When you save the file, we go through the same process as we did for the EXE. So I was inquiring if we can go through the process again, but since it's the same, maybe we can skip it and do it at the end when all the files are created.
Fiona, before you leave that same window,
yes.
Can you please move to the Manage Questions tab? And then move down to Shuffle. Now, this is what Dr. Francis has been asking about, that you can shuffle the order of the questions and also the order of the answers, such that if we are 2-3 people in the same room attempting the same assignment, would not get the same question as question 1, all of us. At least one of us gets question 1, the other gets question 5 of the same course, same content, or same assignment, or same test or exam. But at the end of the day, all these questions are equal. Then there is also an option which I'm not seeing here, but I read about it. I've read about it before, whereby if we find that the question has been answered very much and everyone has almost gotten the question, then from the question bank, I think that happens now in the learning management system when you have a question bank, then from the question bank, the system is able to pick another question which is slightly harder than what is actually there, such that whoever attempts next gets a different question, probably or the same question, but with a different kind of wording and kind of phrasing as a question. I hope that answers Francis's query. Thank you.
Yes, yes, and that's what I want our listeners and I mean the trainees to be able to know.
Thank you very much. I hope I've been able to respond.
Yeah, you've done it, yes.
Thank you.
Okay, we can proceed. So this works more in creating the quizzes for those various categories: multi-choice, short answer, hybrid, and the multi-select. Multi-select, we select where the student or the user is supposed to select one or more questions. We still go through the same process. As we have seen, we can also shuffle through the questions, or we can delete a particular question that maybe you don't need. You can insert another question between like there's a question 1 or 2, so you want to insert. You can use these features to change or move questions up or down. So for example, if I say I want to move question 1 to number 4, that is also possible. So I want to move it to number 2 and say, okay, then question 1 will become number 2. something like that. So this is done. I don't know if people have some questions. You can be raising them in the chat as we look at the second application of the hot potatoes. You can create as many questions as you want for your quiz. It's not limited to a certain number of questions. You can create as many questions as you want, and you can put as many options as you want. Because if you notice here, the options go to till down A to Z and continuously. So you can put as many options as you want and as many questions as you want, depending on the type of quiz you're working with. So we can go to the next one, which is?
Fiona.
Yes, please.
Before you go, maybe the only remaining thing for this particular one is how to export this thing to an LMS, to a learning management system. Then you can go to the next one. You show us how to save this, save it maybe on your PC, and how to export it to a learning management system. Thank you.
Fiona,
yes, please.
Are you going to do it in iLearning or let Joseph do it?
Joseph can do it on the Nkumba site. It's okay.
Yeah. Joseph.
Yes, doctor. Yes, doctor.
Yeah, they would like to see how to export to export this content to the learning system. Of course, the procedure is the same, just COM file and import the usual way, but can you how you are putting it? The same file Fiona has created, you can import it to a learning management system, and that looks like in the learning management system.
Okay, let me try, doctor. My screen. Okay, good afternoon, members. Once again, welcome back. As we said, you must log into your learning management system. You must turn on editing. So you turn on editing to make sure that you are in a position to edit anything or add add anything within your LMS. You go to add activity or resource wherever you are, and then we go to the SCOM file still, and then add the activity as a SCOM file. We can call it, that is hot potato test. Then we come to the section where we put the file, the zipped file. Go to the file picker, choose the file, then look for an area where you saved it, where you saved your SCOM file. It must be a zipped folder. Okay. I have, let me pick close, that is jclose. Open the file, the folder, the zipped one, and then add it to the system, that is save and display. So you have the file or this the jclose within your work, and then you can go and view exactly what is there using the same principle. This will take you to next. You fill in the answer.
Thanks, Joseph.
You're welcome.
So
thank you.
Yeah, so the principle is the same. So you export the output, and then you import the material in your learning management system. Do you want to continue?
So if we are to carry on with the next one, that is the jclose. So this is used for the gap filling exercises where you can maybe give a story, and in that particular story or passage, and in that particular passage, you leave out some words and a student is supposed to fill in those words. So It still has the same features. The file enables you to create new, opener, save. You can save as well. You can create a web page, a zipped package, a SCOM file, print, and as well you exit using the exit button, not the X. So it has the edit option, copying and pasting. You can insert a picture, a link, or anything you are working with. It also has a... Sorry?
We are not seeing that. Oh, I'm the only one not seeing it. That screen you're talking about.
Are you seeing it now?
Yes, perfect.
Yes, we are looking at the JClose. It has the file features that are similar to the ones you've seen. The opening, saving, creating a web page. You can create a web page to view your content. You can create a zipped package, a SCOM file that you're going to upload to the e-learning system, or you can just export the file and print it. So it has the edit options as well. By insert, you can insert anything you're working with, picture, link, HTML table, then the options as well. So it has we input the title. These features, there's this, you can pick a file, you can pick or create a new file from here. Then you can open a previously saved file with this. Okay, let me make it bigger so that it's easier with this. Then you can save a current file. Here you can create or edit in the reading view. You can export this file to a web page with this. You can close a program. So these are some of the features that are embedded in the file. They're also summarized here. So to create this exercise, the simplest way is to create a word. Sorry. Or we can insert a picture, but since we are working at gap filling exercises, we are going to insert a whole text and we see how to create which ones are having gaps. So let me get a short description of probably someone and we use that. So if we say this is what we are working with, let me do it like this. And our title is going to be our title, I'll say a description as our title. And when I'm describing, you select which, I have just copied the text and pasted it, but you can as well type. If you want to type, you can as well type in the particular text you want. I've just copied this from somewhere and pasted it here. So if I say she's, and I want to skip out this, to put a gap for the reader to fill this, I'll highlight the word that I want to be filled by the student, then come and say gap. So when you select gap, you'll get another menu that pops up that has different features. These features ask for first the gap you want to leave. Is it a gap for one gap or many? The word that you want to be skipped. This is the word I highlighted. Then the clue for the reader. So the clue, most times you can say, if it's a description of something, you can put it as the clue. For this instance, it's IT consults. Maybe I'll say the clue is ICT management firm, then that is our clue. So alternative correct answers. You can have a word that is going in a particular place, but it has alternative options that may be correct. In case if a person puts 8tech only, they are right. If a person says 8tech consults, they are right. If a person says 8tech consults limited, they are right. Those are some of the alternative answers you put in this section. So probably we shall say, if a person says 8tech, they're right. If a person says 8, you're just trying to create up some options that a user can work with instead of limiting to one. After creating all this feature enables you to undo. Here it is you can cut, but it's disabled since you're not working with any cutting and pasting features in here. Then this, you can paste what you copied from the clipboard. After filling this for the particular gap or word that you want to be filled by the student, you'll say, okay. When you press okay, it is highlighted in red, and it indicates like a link. It is just indicating that it is the missing word that is supposed to be filled. If you notice, all the words that we shall put as gaps when we are displaying, they will not be displayed. So maybe I will also put this as the gap and say the clue is mock. Alternative answer is mark. Oh, okay. And say okay. Then I'll look up for another word. Maybe WordPress. Let me take this and say gap. The clue may be WP and alternative is WordPress. And say okay. So we can work with different gaps in different areas. Maybe here I'll say, as also put here a gap and say the clue is research. Oh, I'll just leave that as the clue. Then the alternative answer is research. Say okay. So after all this, you notice we have some features below. This has been used to create a gap. This is to delete a gap. So for instance, you created something that you're not really comfortable with using as the gap, you can highlight and delete. Then here you can show those particular words that you're selecting or that you're using as the gap that the student is supposed to fill in that gap. Then this, you're creating an auto gap in a particular. If you put like text, like we pasted before, and you want the system to create for you gaps itself without you selecting one by one, you'll come and use this feature, the auto gap. So now if I select it, it pops up that we've already selected gaps in the text. But if you've not selected and you just put in your details and text and you say auto gap, you can get the gaps automatically. Then this, you can clear all the gaps you have. So we go through the same process of saving the file. And to first view how our file is displayed, we shall first save it as a web page. We go to file, then create web page. So we shall say gap. We shall call it gap 1.
Oh. Is the UPS material.
George, please mute your microphone.
Someone should help us mute that one.
Please mute your microphone, the noise and... Okay, so when we save as a web page, oh God. Thank you so much. So when we save our file as a web page, this is how it's going to be displayed. The title of our file was description. This is what I used. And they're telling us the file is a gap fill exercise. These areas, they're telling you to fill all the gaps, then press check. Check your answers. Use hint button to get free letters if an answer is giving you trouble. It displays the instructions for the reader on how to fill this gap exercise. And the areas that are all missing are the areas we chose as the gaps. So I can come and say she's a business development manager at, we said if you say 8 tech, it's right. I can input 8 tech and the link appears, the hint. So you fill all these gaps. After, maybe you can check to see if what you've put in is correct. So it's saying some of your answers are incorrect because we have not filled other answers.
George Jemba, his microphone is on and it's bringing a lot of noise.
Okay, so we are going to do the same process. We are going to save this now as a SCORM package and we upload it in the learning management system and we see how it appears. So I'll still use the same process of saving. Maybe I can first save as a zipped file. It is gap1. So I'll save. So when we come to our, as Joseph mentioned, when you come to our learning management system, so at the moment I'm using 8 Learning and I'm already logged in. When you select to add a SCORM package, so I came to adding an activity or a resource. After logging in, I switched on edit settings, add activity or resource. Then you choose the type of package you're adding. I've saved it as a SCORM file. You can say SCORM package and say add. Then you give the details, the name of the package, the description, depending on the LMS you're working with and the contents it requires. Then you can come to this section. For this, it allows you to drag and drop the file here, or it allows you to use the file picker like Joseph selected. So we shall use the file picker and look for where this particular file is stored. It was called GAP, and we can upload it. So we can save it as forum GAP. Say upload this file. So when you upload, it appears here and you come and save. Me, I have saved and displayed so that we can see. Let's see.
You've not put the name, Fiona? Okay, good.
Yeah, I put something. So we shall save and display so that we see how it appears. Oh, something I didn't put as well. Oh, now this one has a file size. Oh, we set our e-learning to have a particular file size.
On the structure, so I think you're using a different version, so careful on the version. Missing XML or writing structure. It is not compatible with the version that is there.
Or maybe I'm using an old version. So, but we go through the same process like Joseph described, and going to changing the version and all that may take a while longer. But the process is all the same. Like we went through the AXE and the first one of the J quiz. It's the same process of uploading the SCORM file. In case someone is lost or they have some questions, you can post in the chat and...
Fiona, just a quick one, eh?
Yes, please.
Why is it important to save this thing as a zipped file? Or maybe is that the default way to save it?
It is
I
not
think I
that...
can respond.
Okay, it's okay.
Thank you, Fiona. It is always important to save as a zipped file because in the learning management system, there are several formats the system must accept.
Yes.
And as it accepts this information, it takes into account the space that we have on the servers.
Ah.
So if we don't take care of the space and we have everything in there as big as they are, at some point may be scaled so high and institutions may fail to manage the space and pay for the space. So it's basically for us to manage space.
Thank you, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, we can, after all that, as you said, we have different ways we can save the file. So depending on how you want to view it, earlier, the issue of first saving it in the web is to easily see how it appears. Then you can save it as a zip to upload it or a SCOM file. So we can proceed to the next one. I hope the questions are addressed in the chat room, and those that are addressed as we are discussing. Thank you for raising them. In case I've missed out something, Joseph, you can maybe come in and see how we can fix it. But in the meantime, we can move to the JCross. The JCross is used to do the crossword puzzles, can be crossword puzzles, can be numbers, can be, but these ones are done online. Though still, these ones can be created and printed out for somebody to feel handwritten. So let me first enlarge. I'm going to reshare so that we can see. Where is it? Yeah. This is our JCross. It does the crossword puzzles. Can be those puzzles for numbers or the words. This you can fill it online. You can as well do the puzzle itself and copy it, print it out, and it can be filled on paper as well. So it's either way. And still, as we saw, you input a title of that particular crossword or puzzle you're looking at. For this, we shall still stick to our research methods so that we don't bring in new terms. Maybe we can say research method concepts as our title. So these are...
New screen.
Fiona, we're not seeing that screen.
Hey, sorry.
You know, each time you pick an application, it creates a new instance. Eh? So,
yeah, don't forget to keep sharing new things whenever you move to another window.
That's true. You may end up talking to yourself. So
yeah, okay.
So it's the JCross. It has the same features as all of them since they are working with the same application, just doing different things. Still the file does similar things of opening, saving, creating a zip or SCOM file. We looked at that. Then the edit feature that allows you to copy, paste, or delete something. Then the insert. The difference with this, it has an option for managing the grid. The managing the grid is like you're selecting which things you want to appear where, or you want things to be in uppercase, or you want things to be in colored, or you want the grid to change the size, things like that. Can maybe set the size to 50. But that we are not going to be seeing, so I'm going to increase. Depending on what you really, the person setting this is interested in.
You should be decreasing, eh? Okay.
Yes, I have done so. So probably I can set 10, so it's a bit bigger. So it also has a summary of the file features on the top left. These are still the same features in the file. So in case it's hectic to do the file, you can use the summary here. And we said our title is going to be research method concepts. This, when you've input, before I start on the wording and everything, you can undo what you've put. You can use a quiz of putting in, oh, I've made it very big. Let me use that 20. Okay. Yeah, this will do. So these features, undo, copy, and paste, this is not active at the moment since you're not copying, cutting anything. Then the easiest way to create the grid is creating it automatically. This feature allows you to create it automatically, because if you are creating word per word, that means you're going to come and type in the word research. Here, you type in letter per letter, which is a bit longer. That is why it's easier to use the automatic side. On the automatic button, it will display another screen that allows you to enter all the words that you want in your puzzle, and it automatically sets those words and removes some letters in those particular words for a person to complete the puzzle. So we shall say some of our words are going to be, for instance, research. Joseph, please mute your microphone. I'll say research. We say qualitative. We can say quantitative. We can say maybe data. We can say analysis. Just using some research terms so that we flow with the same things we've been seeing. What else? Let me say approach. Writing what comes to my head.
Philosophy.
You have hard words.
Hey. Scientific rating. Scientific rating. Data science.
Let me make this. No, let me just say science.
Okay.
So these are the words we are going to work with. And after inputting your words that are going to make the puzzle, we shall say make the grid. So it will input those words in different areas according to how they match. What I mean by how they match is how the different words and letters match. If you notice, this is approach. Approach is connected to the philosophy since it has a common P. Scientific writing is connected to approach and philosophy and research and data. So the automatic bit is easier. If you manually put it, it's going to be longer because you'll have to say that I'm going to write data and scientific writing has to pass here in the CATI. It's a bit longer. So I think the automatic way is easier. Unless, Joseph, you can advise on any other way.
No, that is okay.
So after this, you can save your file. You can do as many as possible or you can make it as big as you wish. So for this, adding a clue, you click to every word you put. Sorry, let me bring it back. Here we are. Here we this. So for every word you add, after using the automatic word layout, every word you add, you have to add something like a clue that is going to guide the person filling in the puzzle. So you click to a particular word and you say add clues. Am I still there? Or my screen is hanging?
Your mouse moving.
You can't add a clue?
You could be having another screen somewhere.
Okay, let me check that.
I think you froze it. You took it last time away, so it must be just hidden somewhere.
Another screen to be able to display on your screen.
Oh, let me first check it out. Joseph, first proceed for a minute because the screen is displayed, but it is hanging.
Methods. Okay, I think as she sorts out that, what we can mention under clues is that at this point, the program will work out the numbers, the number of words, and even show you the screen as her screen is going to pop up. What we need to note is that even after this, you can make changes. So it's not the last point within which you will stop, but you can still make changes. Shona, maybe you can stop sharing and share it again. Your network could be automatic.
Maybe I don't know something because me I can't see it.
Okay. Okay, let me share mine and then you can work from my screen.
Okay.
Though I'm going to take you a little bit backward, so I'll be doing the typing. You can stop sharing. Okay, Fiona?
Yeah, so I think we're at the stage of the clue.
Adding clues. So we were at the stage of adding clues. I think Joseph first input some of the terms or words. Yes. No. Go to the third last.
But he does not have the, yeah, good.
Yes. So you input some of the words we are going to work with on
So
that
research,
particular puzzle.
So it's a research method. Okay. Methods. Analysis. Scientific writing. I think that will do for now, for the interest of time. Okay. So Fiona, over to you.
So after, we are going to add clues on each word we are working with, so that it enables the reader or the student or the person filling that particular puzzle to get clues to a certain word. I'm seeing somebody asking for a PPT. The PPT is going to be shared right after this. It's going to be a combination of everything that we've been talking about. So Joseph, when you select the scientific writing is as our first word, you'll put a clue that can lead to somebody to know that the word is scientific writing. Maybe you can put a description of that word.
Presenting scientific data.
Okay. Then as you're inputting these clues, you make the clues at least easily understandable for the reader to easily know which word they are feeling. It is just like the normal puzzles, maybe in the newspapers, where they give you clues at the bottom, or statements that you read and you know, okay, this is the possibility, or these are some of the words that can fit in this according to what's there. So you have to give every word a clue. After scientific writing, click OK on your right-hand side, Joseph, after putting its clue. Then go to analysis, click on the next word, analysis, put its clue as well. You can type in a clue of that particular word. Then you do this for all the words you've put in the puzzle. Saying analysis of results. Then you go to data as well. You do the same thing. You click to it, you put a clue, and you click OK. After all this, you scroll down to this same window that is open, and you press OK to save all the features that you've put and all the clues. So after that, you can save the file. You can save the file either as a web page, depending on how you're going to use it. But first, I think you do the web page so that we view how it comes out. missed out a clue on one of the terms. Okay. So you have to ensure that all the terms and all the words you have used have clues, because these clues are the ones that help the reader easily understand, because you may find that a word in a particular puzzle has only 2 letters displayed, 2 or 3 letters displayed, because it doesn't have any other similar letter, and it's the reader who is supposed to fill the other letters. So you give a clue that is easily understandable and that a student or the reader can easily understand and it leads them to filling these puzzles. So I am waiting for you, Joseph. Yes. What is the display you're getting? You're forgetting the research methods word down. You're not giving it a clue. Yeah, you have to look at all the words, because if you fail, you leave out one word, you'll keep on getting a pop-up and it will fail to create the web page for you to view the details or view what you created, how the puzzle is being displayed. So you notice that when he put all the clues on all the words, it was able to save. So we can give it a name. Maybe we can say crossword puzzle. And you can load it in the browser so that we see how it comes out. You can make sure you avoid using spaces when you're saving your documents, leaving spaces in between words. So you can view from the browser. Please share the browser screen. So this is how our puzzle is going to look like. And when you press... Please, George, mute your microphone. So these numbers are showing some of the terms we input. If you click on number 1, it shows the hint. So it will show that this word is a specific writing style. That is the clue that Joseph put, and it starts with S. So you will know that S, this was scientific writing. So when you click on the 2 as well, the reason why we are having a lot of black is because we've used a few words. So you can use several words so that your puzzle is a bit filled. You can use several words in here so that your puzzle is filled. As he's clicking on the different numbers, they're showing the particular hints that are supposed to go there. So when you type in the word in that box and you type, for example, you go to 1 and you type scientific writing, you notice that when you type the word, it goes to the puzzle. So this puzzle can be filled online by a student, a reader, or any audience you're targeting at that particular moment. So when you click 1 as well and you input for data, the word is displayed. So the same process we go through saving the first ones, JQuiz, JCross, JClose, as SCORM files and zipped folders, and you update on the LMS, is the same process we go through for this, for the JCross. You can save as a SCORM file. First save normally on your computer. So after you extract, you open the learning management system like we've seen earlier, and you load the file. Or if it accepts the drag and drop, like some do, you can drag the file from where it is stored and you drop it where it is going to be uploaded. It's the process of creating a zipped file that is happening at the moment. Yeah, so now you can upload the file.
Francis, mute.
Your particular particular course that you are working with. And this uploading the files, when you're working with the LMS and you're uploading files, you can upload files in different ways. You can upload quizzes, you can upload SCORM packages, you can, depending on what you're uploading. So he's trying to input the name or title of our document. You choose the file using the file picker where it is stored. Then you can upload the file. Then save and display, or you can save and return. You can put as many files as you wish, depending on the work you are doing. So it is the same display that we had in the web page. And that's all with our JCross. I think Joseph can take us through the JMix and JMatch and the Masha.
Wow. Thank you, Fiona. Colleagues, I know it's a lot of information. I can see the time, so we will want to push, and then maybe we shall leave the session where you guys are able to. So Joseph, maybe anybody with a question, I can use 2 minutes to 5 minutes. Anybody with a question as we transition to Joseph to take us the remaining components? You can put up your hand. If you have a comment, okay. It appears we are all comfortable with the level of progress, so good. So Joseph, you can take us to the other two.
Joseph, you are muted. Please unmute.
Usually when we talk of the JMix, we're looking at having jumbled sentences being put together to make sure they give us a meaning. So I will not take much time, but I'm going to call it a name as JMix as our sentence. We have this window.
Yeah.
We have the
Joseph,
main.
you're not sharing the window you're working in. Please share.
Is suffering from the same disease.
Yeah.
So we do have the title as the JMix, having the same features as Fiona has been explaining. Then we have the main sentence area and you have the alternate sentence section. The main sentence area, that is where we're going to put the details of the sentence that we want to appear as jangled. So I have some text here I put up and I want to share with you. So that is what we have, and it's about overall sampling something. So you break it down. We need to break it down to break down our sentence. Okay. We need to create, in creating a JMix, we need to break up the sentence into separate segments, but we have to make sure that we make them as big or as small as we would like it to be. So we simply need to, I'm just going to, okay, from the start, okay, sampling. Okay. I just want to get to, that is number one. The second one is that. Third one is here. That and okay. Lastly, we have that. Now in the alternate sentences, this is where we're going to put the way the sentence is supposed to look, supposed to be. So I've put it there. Down at the bottom, we have options like alternate sentence, allow sentences which do not use words and punctuation in the main sentence. That means you're giving options to your learners and you're being flexible. Once you're done with this, then go ahead and save your project or save your, you can save it as JMix. Under that, I'm replacing what is there. Then two, I want to have a display of what I have done. So I'll go and create a standard format and a web page for easy viewing, call it JMix. And I want to see what I have just done. So I have an option to view the exercise in my browser. So I simply say, view in my browser, and I am sharing that other screen. I think I'm getting fed up of that disease. So this is what we have. At the bottom here, we have the different options as we split them together. And a learner or a student is supposed to put all of these together. Maybe click at the word that you want to be somewhere. If it's supposed to be followed by this, you do that. Something like that, up to when you finish to the end, for you to have a complete sentence being able to appear. Once you feel that you're done, then you can go to the answer section to make sure that you test what you've done. If it is wrong, you'll be able to get something like this. If you want to restart, you can simply go to restart, and then under restart, you should be able to restart the same to re-answer. A hint will give you, that is the overall types of non-probability sampling technique include, that is the hint onto our JMix activity. So once you're done, you can also save it as a SCORM package. We'll go back to the activity, then we'll look for SCORM, create a SCORM package, and I'm picking that, which is F8. Okay, fine. So I should be able to, okay. Okay. Okay, hot potato, and then we call it JMix. We save the SCORM package, and once we are done saving it, then we can actually include it onto our learning management system as we have been doing before. You simply access the learning management system, go to your course as we have already done before, turn editing on. Okay, sorry. Turn editing on, go to the course, add activity or resource, SCORM package, and then you add the activity. You can give it a name, test. Then you can either drag and drop, or you can simply locate using a file picker. whatever you choose will be able to work for us. Okay. So you say open, attach the file, and then you'll be good to go. Save and display. You'll have your course appearing within you. So you can enter to see how it looks like, and this is how it will actually look. So basically that is how we work with a JMix. It's almost the same, and as you keep working on to this particular activities, you get more experienced and you learn actually much more, and you start doing them with a little bit more ease. I have not had a question coming through, but I was expecting a question to come through about assessment, because under the learning management system, we also have an option to have question banks. That means you can create a question bank, and under question bank, you can put some of these questions there. In such a scenario, then you must have had, just a moment, where is the course? You must have had under question banks. When you go to import, there are several formats that you can work with. But one of the formats that you must have worked with if you want to insert the same, such that it appears under your question bank, and at the end of the day, you may want to set an exam for your learners, then there must be a plugin that the administrator should be able to install on your Moodle platform. And that plugin is usually a hot potato plugin. Once that is done, you will be able to add this as question banks, such that when you go to create an exam, then you'll be good to go. Your questions will be there. And you can also set the feedback option. What we've not mentioned is that when we're going through all along from the start to the end, we've been having feedback coming through as instant as the questions are being answered. So when you set into the quiz format and the exam format, then the feedback will either be deferred, or you choose one of the feedback options as they may have been presented to you under the learning management system. What I want to do lastly, I want to look at the Masha. Yes, Doctor?
Joseph, I have seen in your plugin, this is something I've not experienced, but just because I've seen it, we have a webcat. Have you seen that format? When you go to
webcat format.
Yeah. I've actually seen you already have a plugin there in your Moodle.
Okay.
I think it can also they can also export that one without a hot potato plugin.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Something I just saw it, and it's something that they can reflect.
Let me just display it again.
Yeah, export for WebCT.
There is this WebCT format.
Yeah.
So now when we go to our closed it, I need to it was JMix. Okay.
Yeah, you may need to just export the same file, and we see how it behaves. Yeah.
I'm going to pick it. Hot potato. Let me just pick it. JMix. Let me just recreate it again.
You can you can just export that same. You export at a WebCT.
Okay, so when you go to export,
It's available for JQuiz. I've not seen it in JMix. I've only seen it in JQuiz.
Let me look for JQuiz somewhere. Okay. Learning with potato. JQuiz. Okay. What is your favorite color? Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You see it, eh?
It is here.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Let me call it JQuiz. Save it. Okay. We are good to go. Now I go back to the LMS. Use that as a format. Okay. Let me refresh my screen. Okay. So use that. Okay. Choose file. What name did I give it?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Checking those potatoes, eh?
It is here.
It was a JQuiz. Okay.
Okay. Upload the file and then import the file. So we have 6 questions have been imported from the file.
Yeah.
And these are the questions. What is your favorite color? How old are you? What is your level of education? How many sisters do you have? That is what we have as a sample.
Excellent.
So when someone goes ahead to create an exam, we have a list of the quiz question bank questions. They are all here. So now the other option that Francis did ask about of shuffling questions also comes in here. The feedback type also comes in here, as opposed to when you add them as a SCORM package or as a SCORM file where what we did previously. Thank you, Doctor, for that insight.
Okay. You're welcome, Joseph. So we do the mash, I think.
Yes, we do the mash. Now the mash.
No, you are the mixed mash.
Yes, the mash is the overall one that we want to end up with, but it's an interesting one and makes things and life very, very funny and very easy. To be precise, you go to the mash, and what it does, it brings all the files we've been able to work on together under one file. When we are looking at the exe, we went ahead and merged 2 files. Now the mash helps us to have all the other 6, the 6 we mentioned under hot potatoes. Sorry, I'm sharing the screen that I have. Okay, so it is helping us to get a list of all the other quizzes that we've worked upon, put them under one file. So it has the same features. Go to you go to add files. So we had the JMix, we had the JClose, all these, we put them together. You can select all of them at a go, and then you say open. So they are coming in as that, and the file names, we are having the default file names, and simply say okay to all. Now, those are all the quizzes that we've worked upon. The next thing will be to build a unit, to have them as one single file. So for us to have them as a single file, we go to build a unit. So we build a unit, and when we build a unit, it keeps running, and at the end of the running, it gives us another window. I don't know if I can have it. This is what it gives us. That should the word overall types of, okay, fine. Yes. Okay. Okay. Okay, good. So do you want to view the unit now? Yes, I do. And I'm sharing again.
Sorry, the screen has keep switching.
Yes. So now this gives us the overall quizzes that we have been able to go through. We have that is the cross. We have the J-mix. We have, this is the quiz, J-quiz, I think.
Yeah.
So everything is in here for us. And when you start with the first one, you keep going next up to when all of them are done. So this is what we call the MASH. And we can also save it as a project. So I'm saving it as a project. I need to show you the screen of saving a project. So this is what we have. I'll go to File. Okay. So I'll go to File and save it as a project first. Sorry. I give it a name and a hot potato. This is MASH. Jmash, the masher. Okay, and I save it. Good. So after saving it, I can go, when I come to options of this, so I'll find we can build an index page. We can create a zip page as we've been doing. We can also do a SCORM package for inclusion into our learning management system. And I can also, basically, I think that is it. Let me create a blank hot potato. No, I think let me get to a SCORM package that is our level as of today. And then I save it. It's taking some little bit of time, but it should be able to get us there soon. Okay, I don't want to open the file. So after saving it that way, then I can also export it to the learning management system. Under the same course unit, name. Okay. Masha. Okay, we have it here. We can view what is in there. And this is what is in there. So we have the fill in. And when you skip saying next, you'll be able to have everything under one roof. Thank you very much. Unless we have some questions coming through, I wish to hand over to Dr. Drake.
Thank you, Joseph. Yeah, that's excellent. So team, that is really our hot potato, how we come up with the assessments, how do we integrate them into our learning management system. So it's really a lot of material, a lot of things to, I think, to process and consume. But before, there are two other critical activities we would like to engage in. One is, allow me to continue with the slide which I left on. And then, let me share my screen. Sorry. Let me share my screen. I think this is my screen. And I think you should all be seeing my screen at the moment. Is my screen available?
Yes, we can see it, Doctor.
Excellent. So we've gone through the potatoes and all that. I would like to put a crowning on some practices, reinforcing the things we shared yesterday. But how do you reflect when integrating e-learning in terms of infrastructure? Because there's some questions even people are asking us, no, but how do we do this? You know, our universities and so on, we don't have this, we don't have that. So I want to give you certain things to reflect on. And after this, we will also walk you through the process of program evaluation. So I have three things: the e-learning infrastructure types, approaches, infrastructure modeling, and of course, the equipment requirement. Some of these things most of you know, but a few of you are reaching out and saying, can we get some tips? So one of the things that we have appreciated and maybe already know because of COVID is that the rapid development of e-learning industry and all these things are able to use the hot potatoes, the Moodles, the EXEs, all these are actually causing us to rethink about how we continue to deliver education. So, but also deciding on which technologies are not to use e-learning. There are a number of factors really. Among the critical factors is cost. So from our professional practice, we promote the use of open source technologies. One fundamental reason is that there is a lower cost. The technologies are available, but also your organizations must be able to have policies that promote that. We had some clients in South Africa, they are paying a lot of money, nearly about $400,000 in licenses to use Blackboard. The same service that easily provided by Moodle are skills. So you must have the right skill set to run a particular technology. So if we're talking about content authoring using hot potato and using EXE, you must have sufficient skill capacity within your human resource to author the content using those tools available. So what is something that is emerging in the e-learning domain is that there's no easy way of defining the boundaries of e-learning technical infrastructure. Right now, I'm working from a remote location. I'm not using any university-provided resources. They are my personal resources. I teach students from my resources. So question is, can the university define this as an infrastructure that they own? So there's also a principle of social contract. When a student signs up for a particular set of service at the university, there's a need to reflect what is the social contract you sign up with the student. Medical students are encouraged or required to come with a medical kit. Do our policies require every student to sign up with a computer or an internet-enabled computer? So those are the things that you need to reflect. So infrastructure in various configurations should be reflected as either that to enable the e-learning, whether managed by organizations or managed by the individuals. So when we're talking about infrastructure requirements, something you have to reflect on is what kind of softwares do you need? LMS, browsers, applications, simulators, and others. Hardware, you need servers, access devices, smartphones, laptops, and so on. Network and internet, very, very critical. Look at costs. I saw Peter's, he was in Cameroon, he was indicating the internet stability, the cost. You have to minimize the bundles. But also more importantly, do we have the right support ecosystem? Do you have the policies? But do you have the people in terms of numbers and skills to run this e-learning? E-learning infrastructure types. So we observe from practice that there are about 3 overall categories of infrastructure that support e-learning. One, institution-owned and operated. Then we have user-provided. Lecturers like me, I own my own laptop, I pay my own internet, and I'm delivering universal service. So, but also a number of lecturers run blogs. I run my personal blog, I run my personal website, for example. I also have a private e-learning platform that I actually use to support my students. So a concept of bring your own device, both, you've seen it. So that can help institutions cut down the cost of e-learning integration, and you quickly jump into service provisioning. Open and free access. So there are this infrastructure, most of you have heard about Coursera. We're talking about softwares like EXE, Hot Potatoes, and others. All these are sort of resources that you made available. So as you reflect on the type of infrastructure you need, one approach is there, can institution own and operate? Or can you encourage bring your own device approach? And also do you attempt to promote open and free access to some of these resources? So as you think about how you do e-learning, infrastructure modeling is very critical. So number one is you need to do extensive research about available technologies and possible application scenarios. So what is that you want to achieve? Define a clear overview of your e-learning space as it applies to your community. The community looks in terms of, do you have people who are technology savvy? Do you have people who are laggards in terms of technology? Do you have right infrastructure that is best infrastructure like internet and best computers? What's your organizational culture? All those are very, very critical things to reflect on. Define a map for implementation of standard specifications, okay? And then support strategic decisions relating to infrastructure and standardization. Infrastructure development should be not a one-off. What we see from most universities, that they get infrastructure either from a project, and they say we bought computers 10 years ago, 5 years ago. Infrastructure should be an ongoing reflective process. Annually review what you need to do and how you maintain the level of update. Document agreed implementation set of technologies. There should be a very clear follow-up. One thing we have observed that some universities don't follow up, like for example, the hosting licenses of some of the technologies. And you only remember when things have been bad. So you need a daily follow-up on these processes. Provide implementation environment. Security is key. Reflect on intrusion detection system and intrusion protection systems. So prevention systems. So these are very, very critical. Last but not least, as you reflect on e-learning, there should be a clear, biased focus on business continuity and disaster recovery. Reflect on redundancy. Some of you, when one network goes off, the entire university cannot function. But if e-learning is a new normal, then you're going to get a lot of frustrated people. A student logs in, inconveniences himself, and there is no lecturer because there's no power at the university. You only have one e-learning officer, one system administrator. So what happens? So when the person falls sick or gets an emergency, the whole university is not functioning. Why? Because you never reflected on business continuity and disaster recovery planning. So we are seeing this, actually most universities, if you're going to score this area, business continuity and disaster recovery, there are very, very few compliance universities. So this is very critical. As you choose whatever you want to do, reflect on interoperability and also system growth. Technologies grow. Don't buy technologies that cause you a quick legacy challenge. So I will really leave most of these things here, and I reflect on, as you left on, look at the kind of the tier. Do you want client tier, application tier, data tier? These are different ways in which you can reflect on what you call the architecture of your implementation. Then just to reflect, you know that e-learning today is a place of different resources. And we're looking at a data tier. You are incorporating learning resources from multiple centers. So the content you generate, content from different places, that's your data center. The application is how you manipulate the data, the resources to appear to the different users. And of course, the client is far much the controlled environment on how the different users consume the data that you have. So really, this is a kind of the e-learning content, the platform that provides personalized, relevant, scalable access. And then of course, you have your client or your user portal. So thank you for listening. We wanted to provide that simple tips because of some of the feedback that has been coming. So Francis, without further ado, can I hand over to you? I know we have one critical aspect, that is the program evaluation. But before that, Francis, I hand over the mic to you. Thank you, colleagues.
Thank you very much, Drake and your team and everybody who has spared time to be in this training. And I hope that this training has been of use to you. But I just want to remind you about why we have planned for this kind of activities. RUFORUM has a vision 2030, which mandates the Secretariat to facilitate universities to innovatively use information and communication technologies to improve teaching and learning. And we do this through a program, a flagship program called Flagship, which I head. And through this flagship, the Secretariat is expected to facilitate universities to provide relevant and practical training, not only through innovative use of technology, but to be able to use the latest electronic means and to catch up with the kind of situation, I mean, the challenges, to address the challenges that we have. Right now, we have COVID-19, which is a big challenge because no university at the moment can teach face-to-face for all, I mean, can provide a face-to-face education to all the students that they were having before COVID-19. So this training is a timely training, and we thought that by bringing in this kind of experts, you are able to start thinking and to be able to build capacity. It's not a one-day thing. We have organized this training for 2 days, but it's just to be able to understand what you need to do to build your capacity. As Drake has said, it is upon individual universities to plan for the capacity in terms of human resource skills, in terms of infrastructure, and so on. So this training, which was meant to provide an overview of the foundations of e-learning, including the design strategies and so on, including the kind of technologies that we can use, was meant to help you start to understand the fundamental or universal principles of effective instructional design. So I know that many of us who teach at the university do not have the educational background, I mean, in terms of pedagogy, but we can as well get to learn these things and make ourselves more effective, particularly when it involves use of technologies. I don't want to say much, but I know that at the end, we are going to have the Deputy Executive Secretary who will officially close this training. But I think before I do that, those of Drake have indicated that they need to do some evaluation. So I would like to urge every participant to give time to reflect a little bit on what you've achieved, the kind of challenges that you've had, and the perspective of, I mean, in terms of future training. What do you think you need to cover? And what do you think this kind of training should be prepared? Because as I said at the beginning, we are going to be doing this from time to time, and we plan to reach as many instructors or lecturers within the universities as possible. So you can provide a good evaluation to help us at the Secretariat and also the trainers to organize good training and good materials for you in the future and for those who have not come, who can come. So back to you, Drake, before I can invite Alice Mweta to come and close the training.
Someone please, hello? Hello?
Okay, thank you. Who's this?
As I was saying, someone please reshare the link for the evaluation. I think it's lost somewhere in the chat. The whatever was so, the thread is so long. Someone please reshare it.
I have
shared.
I have shared it
Oh,
now.
thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to project it so that we can walk through it. And whoever finishes sharing, filling in, you will indicate to us that you finished by show of hands so that we know we've captured the feedback. So I'm sure we are all seeing on your screen, you must have received this Google form. If you click in the chat, do you get this particular form? Fiona and Joseph, make sure you authenticate that the link I provided does not take them to the edit mode, but gives them the fill form.
Yeah, I have tried it. It has worked actually. Yes.
Excellent. Yes, so I'm walking you through. So some of you may say, so what was the overall opinion of the training? Really just opinion, the way it was organized. Two, we are interested in your feedback on what's your opinion on the topics of the training in terms of the menus that if you look at the program, how appropriate were they in reflective of your level of need? We're interested in your feedback on how useful was the training as a whole for your own situation as an individual.
James Basuta seems to want to say something.
Yes, James. James, any?
You can see your hand up.
No, the hand means he has completed the phone. So whoever completes raises the hand, we need to know who has completed. Those are the instructions. So how useful was session 1? That's a session on training and learning technologies delivered yesterday. Session 2, first steps in effective teaching, effective e-learning. Session 3, evaluating e-learning and course development. Session 4, e-learning content design. And then of course, content development and production. And then of course, planning your activities. And then how useful was a session on transforming your existing courses, the principle we talked about yesterday. So today, really, question 11 is about how useful was a session on developing using EXE, and also how useful was a session on hot potato. Then in terms of the practicals sessions that we put on, how useful were they to you? And we're interested in terms of the format, or how we organize ourselves to deliver to you. What's your overall opinion of the facilitators in terms of how they delivered? What were any which you felt were not covered that you feel are relevant? Are there any topics you would like to suggest for future training? This is very, very critical. You can provide more specific comments to your need and provide something that could be of interest to you and your institution. This is very, very important for the forum, but also for us also to project the level of need in terms of capacity building. And then, of course, would you recommend your institution to organize this training at institutional level? And the rest really is just. So, we appreciate Francis.
Thank you very much, Drake. Just one announcement that even after Alice is officially closed, after she closes the training, we will be running some tutorials on hot potato and maybe if time allows also on EXE. So may I therefore take this opportunity to invite the Deputy Executive Secretary of Roof Forum. This is Dr. Alice Mutiti Mweta, who is in charge of program development and implementation. Alice, please, could you make a closing remark and close the training?
Thank you very much, Francis. Greetings from Lusaka, Zambia, where I'm calling in from. And thank you for the opportunity to close this very exciting training, the 2-day training that we have had. First and foremost, I would like to thank all of you for honoring our invitation to this training. We know that for some of the participants, the invitation came in sort of last minute, but we're very pleased that we've had such an overwhelming response and participation to this meeting. Also, you know, our participants are coming from all over the continent, so we are most grateful from you know, across where we have the member universities. For those that may not be very familiar with Roof Forum, we are in 38 countries across the continent. So we are very happy to see that even the participation is sort of representative of the spread of our membership. I would like to recognize among the participants some of our vice chancellors. They participated. So this is very encouraging, and it does show that right from the top management of the university, there's concern that we do need to transition to online teaching, online learning, focusing on what the investors need, what capacities exist, what opportunities are there also. And we also have had members of some of the governance organs of Roof Forum supporting the training as well. So we are very much grateful for that. Now, in the last 2 days, or in the 2 days workshop that we have had, it has been quite intense and very informative as well. We have had some hands-on training in different aspects of e-learning. For example, yesterday, Professor Jude took us through pedagogy, you know, of e-learning, development of e-content. And for the first time, actually, myself, I also learned the difference between e-learning and m-learning. I didn't ask what I-learning was, but I'm sure I'll learn that in the future. And how that the e-learning should be student-centered. And we also looked at teaching etiquettes, student-teacher interactions, educational technology strategies. So some of those things we could have learned them already in our past, but there's really never any harm, any time to refresh, you know, some of those things, to get a reminder of what a teacher must be doing and how a teacher is different from the student, and some of the other non-technical responsibilities we have as teachers when we are interacting with our students. So we also learned on how to develop e-courses. I was very interested this morning about the EXE. The first time I saw that, I thought it's it looked like a word that I hear young people say, something like exe or something like that. And then also the hot potato, I was also learning that for the first time. And perhaps for some of the colleagues in the training already knew about those facilities, but we are happy that most of us are learning that for the first time, that we could use those facilities as alternatives to some of the platforms we're using, such as Moodle, or even aligning them, so linking those things to the learning systems that we are familiar with. So as Francis has said, at Roof Forum, we would like to see that the network is well equipped to deliver teaching using e-learning. And now we know that, apart from this COVID-19, something else might come up in the future, and we need to be ready, to continue to teach, to continue to deliver other university services despite the fact. And at the Secretariat, we do have the Knowledge Hub, where Francis is the manager, and we are committed, in fact, to facilitating universities to provide the relevant training and doing the gap analysis and seeing how together we can bridge those gaps, or also contribute to reducing the divide that currently exists on the continent. So on behalf of the participants, I would like to thank Professor Jude, Dr. Drake, Fiona, Faith, and Joseph for an excellent facilitation. This was very, very good. The combination of the theory and the practice was just excellent. And we do look forward to further training or facilitation in the future. And I know that this evaluation we are doing now is going to be useful to inform the next activity that we are going to have. I also would like to thank colleagues at the Secretariat for all the work that went into preparing for this training, specifically to thank our colleagues that are at the Knowledge Hub unit at Roof Forum for putting everything together and making this particular training very possible. So with all this, and to all of you, our participants, the facilitators, and colleagues at the Secretariat, I thank you very much. And I wish you good e-learning going forward. And also, I hope to see you soon in the next set of training events that we'll be planning. Thank you very much, Jude, and thank you very much, Francis. And the training session is hereby now duly closed.
And you can leave at later, but I will be playing this for those who like to get.
Are you guys going to share the thing? Welcome back to the e-learning online course on designing e-resources.
So thank you, colleagues. And we encourage colleagues to at least fill in the evaluation form. It will be important for everything we have done. So during every form, please. Thank you.
I wanted to pray for you.
Where do we find you?
Hello. Also, I wanted to pray for you. You end a workshop without a prayer. I wanted to give you a word of prayer and then you close.
Please do, sir.
Okay, let me pray for you. I'm from Bishop Sturt University in Uganda. Father, we thank you for this wonderful opportunity you've given us to be together and for this successful training we have been taken through. And I pray that you continue to strengthen all that have participated. And we pray that you bless these your children and all of us, Heavenly Father. The blessing of God Almighty, Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit be with you, beloved, now and forevermore. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Okay.
Amen.
Colleagues, I would also want to thank you so much, despite that I've not been around the whole day, but my colleagues did a great job. I thank you for attending. This is Jude here.
Okay. God bless. I encourage, we need at least 59 forms. So everybody has attended.
Okay. Amen from Namibia. Amen.
Colleagues, I would also want to thank you so much, despite that I've not been around the whole day,
Yes, yes, Prof. It's okay. Yeah, so kindly fill the forms. We appreciate everyone who has already filled the forms there and will be good for our planning. Thank you very much.
In your computer. For that, if you type hot potatoes in Google, it will take you to the hot potatoes homepage. This hotpot.uvic.ca. Now the latest version of hot potatoes available is version 7. Come down. Here you are having download hot potatoes for Windows. Click it here and you will get an installer and it will download. It is 8.5 MB. It will not take much time. It will go to your download page or directly you can click it and you can start loading the hot potatoes in your computer. The user interface is very easy. It is user friendly. You have to click next and go to the final stage of finishing and you can load the hot potatoes in your computer. Regarding hot potatoes, it includes 6 applications enabling us to create interactive multiple choice, short answer, jumble sentence and crossword matching ordering, gap filling exercise for the World Wide Web. It's a freeware and you may use it for any purpose or project you like. It is not open source. The Java version provides all the features found in the Windows except you cannot export your object from Java hot potatoes. Okay, you have to click this executive file and you know that how to do it and you have to go for allow it and yes and yes. Okay, now already I have loaded it in my laptop. I will show you. This is the icon for hot potatoes, hot potatoes 7. You click it and hot potatoes open. Remember, you cannot maximize it. This is the full size of the hot potatoes. In our upcoming videos, we will see one after the other how to use this jclose, jquiz, jcross, jmix and jmatch. Before that, let us go to this help and then go to this tutorial. It is always better to see it once before you start using it. Click the start. It will tell what is hot potatoes, what is new version 7, getting started potatoes 1 by 1. And you can click this go potato 1 by 1. It tells you what is the meaning of jquiz, jclose, jmatch, jmix, jcross and the masher. If you click this jquiz, it tells you that how you have to do it. So it also gives you 3 steps in making an exercise. I will go back. Similarly, this jclose also it tells you how you have to do it. And it tells you 3 steps in making an exercise also. Or you can use it as a tutorial to prepare jquiz, jclose, jmatch, jmix and jcross. Please play around and devote some more time to look after how a question-based exercises, gap fill exercises can be done using hot potatoes. Using these hot potatoes, you can create these exercises and you can share it with your children. They can do it in their browsers and they can check the answer also. Let us see what you have to do. Let us start. Install the hot potatoes in your computer. And as I told you that how to use the sample exercises available using the tutorial. This tutorial is over here. Already showed you. We just to go to this jquiz based. Then it will tell you 3 steps. And it will tell you that go, then click go. And it will tell you how you have to do. Then go. Then it will tell you go and then go. And then it will tell you how you have to do it. Okay. The remaining steps on how to use the hot potatoes, how to make exercises will be discussed in the upcoming videos. Once again, welcome back to the e-learning online course on designing e-resources. Next session, managing exercises created using hot potatoes.